Hello. I know I'm going to have to set everything on mute. Let me get everything going here for this live stream. It's been a few weeks. I'm a little rusty. All right, let's see here. Hello. Okay, sounds like the sound is it's good to go. Everything is on. I'm just going to push on through. If you happen to pop on and are in the chat, please let me know. Welcome to 2022. Let me tell you, it has been very interesting. I don't know what it's been like for you, but whew, I'm glad I made it through to 2022. So my name is Joelle and I am the Viberarian. I am here to elevate, enlighten, and empower. I'm undertaking all of that for my own journey. And when I come on here, it's to share because I hope that the things that I find informing and interesting and elevating will also be something that resonates with you on your soul journey. So welcome to this new energy of this new cycle and this new year. So just to catch up with everyone, I don't know how your holidays were, but mine were spent in bed because I wound up getting the ick, whatever it is going around here, whether you want to call it flu-rona, corona, COVID, whatever it is. I definitely had my experience of it. And this is my first kind of foray out into a public energy space. I stayed in the house and did my quarantine, and I needed it because let me tell you, the energy of the whole experience in my body was very, very draining. Fatigue was, I think, my number one symptom or experience, and I was worn out like nothing else. So I don't know if you had something experience. There's a lot of information out there right now. I'm not here to get into all that, but I do know that here in the Metro Atlanta area, it made rounds really quickly and is still continuing to do so. So I would just say keep your vibration high and, keep your body nourished and well hydrated, no matter what your circumstance or belief or experience is about this. So I am so excited because I wanted to just pop on here, share a little bit about what is happening in my reality. And of course, I'm going to pull some cards for us from the collective energies that are going on. But I also wanted to just have a little bit of conversation. So, as I talk about elevating, enlightening, and empowering, I undertake a lot of things to that end. And one of the things that I signed up for this year is to do a 21-day focus challenge. Now, focusing for me is an interesting experience because I find that I am easily distracted by things and my energies get scattered, and then I find myself not being as effective as I would like to be. So a wonderful, beautiful soul here in Atlanta named Misty. She is the spiritual attorney, and she has written a book called Focus, and I can't remember the full title of the book. I'm going to share here in a little bit my screen. But it's like using focus in order to magnify the lens of your life. I know I'm totally butchering it, but her 21-day experience is taking material from the book and we go through a different mini lesson every day about how we can focus and shift our experience based on what we're focusing on, being mindful and purposeful in how we spend our energy and attention. Matter of fact, I've been journaling and keeping a journal through this, I may actually have written down the full title, but I guess I probably didn't. But we just finished day 6 of this focus challenge here. So I will share my screen just one moment here. All right, the 21 days of focus here. And so, being scattered in my energy, which talks about multitasking, but you can't multi-focus, right? And so working through all this exercises, I've actually showed up for 6 days. Now, I will credit some of it to the fact that I had beautiful time available due to being ill. So I was able to set my little reminder and show up every day. But I'm also finding that the actual things and the questions and the prompts that we're doing are actually very much helping me bring into focus some things and plans and projects that I have in mind for myself professionally and personally. And it's bringing actionable change that I can see happening into my reality. So it's not too late to join us for this. It's totally free. I will put the link to her Facebook group on the description box below, so you can also go and join. You can catch up on what we've done so far. Each session starts with a breathing exercise where we come into a coherent state by doing a 108 cycle of breath as she leads us through focusing on in and out, giving and receiving. As we all know, Ralph Smart says that good ass prana, right? Getting our energy and then synchronizing ourselves to help bring a focal point to the group activity that we're doing. And then she has her little lesson, which is something from the book that she's written. And it's a thought-provoking conversation. We have a little bit of chat, discussion about it. And then she ends with a tapping cycle. Now, I have heard about EFT. Actually, she spoke about it during my interview with her on the Psychic Inside show a year or so ago. I'll also put the link to that below as well. But I had never tapped before, and it'd been something that I was curious about. So as we're doing this, the bonus add is that every session ends with a tapping. And so it's very interesting to see the form that the tapping takes. And those of you who have been practicing EFT, I'm sure you're like, oh yeah, I've been doing it for years. It changed my life. Well, I'm in the midst of beginning to tap in new things, new statements and new consciousness through what she is teaching. And so I find this very, very valuable. And no, this is not a paid promotion. This is just my honest experience of it. I have found it very elevating. So I would invite you to join us as we continue starting tomorrow for the next several days. So let me check in here as well. Oh, looks like we've got the spammers here. It's always interesting to see who is drawn to come into these sessions. So let me get back to where I was. All right, so this month is a big month. And I know we started out like I was all gung-ho thinking I was going to be first week of the year out the gate with several things. And of course, Spirit had another plan for me in terms of resting my body. But I will be out this month out at Holistic Health and Wellness in Atlanta. This is a beautiful metaphysical shop that the owners, Dawn and Tracy, are beautiful, beautiful, high vibe women. And they have opened a retail establishment in Marietta where you can go in and get your your products like your incense, your oracle cards, crystals. You can also get Reiki services from Dawn. And she is a source of wisdom for the community, and it's becoming a nice little hub. I've been up there myself. It's quite a ways from the south side or mid airport area where I live, but it was worth the drive. And I will be up there later this month doing in-person readings at the store. The date is to be determined because we are waiting right now in terms of the level of sickness that's in the Atlanta area before we go into like an in-person kind of dynamic. I am, of course, always available by Zoom for sessions if you want to check in and see what Spirit has guidance for you for this new year. We can see where your energies are and what you might be dealing with, and receive oracle guidance for shifting or dealing with your circumstance in the highest possible way. I'm certainly available to help you with that. And I will make an announcement here as to what weekend I wind up being up there. One of the other exciting things that I am doing is that I have launched the Viberarian Collective. You may have noticed back in November or December, a video that I posted on this channel that it was like a little 3 or 4 minute overview of the current Viberarian Collective members. So excuse me, the sirens are going off outside. So the Viberarian Collective is a group of businesses. There is something in each of us that we are to bring to the world. And the Viberary is an access portal for that which we are all trying to do to serve others. So what that means is, like, if you have a talent, a gift, a skill, something that is your passionate purpose, your desire, and you have launched yourself into offering that service to the public, then the Viberarian Collective is an association where you can join us as we uplift each other. We go out to events, we resource share in terms of providing opportunities. We also provide business to business services to each other, self-sourcing from the community. And then it exists as a directory for members of the public to be able to find these conscious businesses, to be able to connect so that they can patronize your dream and help support your dream as well. So if you are interested in receiving more information about the Viberarian Collective, please email me at Joelle, Joelle, at theviberarian.com. TheViberarian. You will be seeing more from the Viberarian Collective as we grow and support each other. Last month, we went out to a pop-up. We had Temple Yoga was there, giving teachers sweatshirts and gift certificates for yoga classes. Tiffany, the owner of Love My Temple, is very much invested in educators and trying to support their overall, the stresses that they're dealing with in the ways that she can through her business. Of course, I am a person who goes to yoga with Tiffany. She is my yogi. And of course, the benefits of that have been amazing and changed my life in the last 4 years. Also, actually, Temple Yoga is getting ready to do a winter. Let me skip ahead to where we are, sharing my screen again. Yeah, so Temple Yoga Detox starts the 10th through the 31st. And during the detox with Tiffany, it is a wonderful experience. She's very much into educating you about your food choices and the things that you're doing. As you can see here, she's got a nice little tip about how to use garlic. And I ate a lot of garlic while I was sick. I will definitely say that. But the yoga detox is a way to shift your awareness about what you're eating. I've done a few cycles of that with myself with her last year, maybe the year before. And I found it very beneficial in terms of helping me to realize that I had a sugar crush. I had beyond a sugar crush, I had a sugar addiction. And so the things that I've learned through detoxing with her have sustained, and kind of habits have stuck with me since then. So temple yoga with Tiffany, and the yoga detox is coming up. You can do classes or just the detox. And I think it's great because who does not want to focus on health right now with all that's going on? So another thing that is going to happen this month up at Holistic Health and Wellness is that our other member, Carolyn Munden, who is an author, she has written the book Love Yourself First. And I love this book. I've got it back there on my shelf. Again, it's one of those books that you work with, all right? It's not just a read through. You got to do some notes and journaling and things like that. But Carolyn is going to be up at Holistic Health and Wellness for a meet and greet. So you can get your book signed, talk with her. Again, the date is to be determined at a future point. And then of course, one of our other collective members is Gooba's Gourmet. Yes, this does have a lot to do with my sugar addiction, because I have been taste testing and being blessed by amazing goodies to a point of abundance and overabundance. But the bakery was closed for the holidays, but it is back open as of next week. So you can visit Gooba's Gourmet. She ships all over the country as well. So you can get your cookies and cakes and sweet items. So in terms of being active and out in the community and, looking to support the businesses who are out there bringing their dreams to life, that is something that I'm very, very happy to do. Just like a library is the community resource where all are welcome, where you can go and freely access information. You can access the books and the classes and the computers and check out things that you don't have for yourself, resources that you may not own. The Viberary is very much what I envision, a high vibration library. So you will find all kinds of resources here as we grow, and our membership spreads its arms or branches of that tree. That is all part of this whole Viberary network of resources that I am making a big effort to share with as many people as possible. I do have a few international members who are going to be joining. And also, don't let me forget Good Trouble Hair. This is a local business here in Atlanta, Stacy and Tiana, and they are about taking care of your natural hair with the best of their abilities. And I will say that Stacy grew my crop and gardened my locks for over 15 years. And so I can vouch for her nurturing hands and her green thumb, if you will, when it comes to locks and maintenance. So you can also check them out. And if you know anything about Good Trouble, those of you who are in Atlanta and are familiar with the amazing and phenomenal civil rights leader, John Lewis, that was his, phrase, that there are certain things that are good trouble, that when you, become locked up in the name of protesting for peace, as many of the freedom riders and people did in the civil rights area, when you're, changing things in a radical way that might disrupt the status quo, that's good trouble. And so, of course, making sure that we are active in our belief systems and the disruptors that we have the ability to be is something that I support. And of course, I support these beautiful women in their business as well. it's just so great to be able to be in this circle of energy of people who have a vision and something that has been placed in their being by spirit that is truly a gift that blesses others. And so to be able to be in a supportive structure, or the branches of the tree, if you will, that allow those businesses to flourish and to reach more people, that is something that I am truly honored to function in the capacity to curate and bring together. So let's see what else we have here. I think that in terms of activities, I am working to put together the High Heart Journey back to Mount Shasta. We're looking at July of this summer. So if you want to join us on that trip, please do. Again, send an email. I'll put all the links to that, as I said before, in the description box below. We'll get you on the interest list because space will be limited, so that we can have like a very personalized experience. And so I will definitely be making that available. And then looking even further on into the year, we've got equinox in the Yucatan for September that is coming together. I would love to have you travel with me on the journey down through the Riviera Maya to do some amazing things. So I'm putting the final touches on that as well. All right, so I think that covers the things that are happening in terms of logistics and here and there and everywhere. But now to switch over into the more spiritual side of the conversation, if you've stuck with me this long, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and clear the energy real quick here. All right, these beautiful Ting Shas are from the class that I went to in Boulder, Colorado, when I did a Tibetan sound healing class with Master Sren Shrestha and the Atma Bodhi Sound School. So I am very excited because I do offer sound healing using the bowls, and I have crystal bowls, crystal wands, and these Tibetan bowls that I got. These tingshas are just so beautiful, clear, direct from Tibet and from the area where he actually grew up, Mr. Shrestha did. So I'll be speaking more about that as well at a later date. So, in the spiritual realm of things, the messages that I got just for myself this week from my angel cards were about the throat chakra and the crown chakra. So, I've been being prompted to speak, to come forward and to speak. And so, my being here today and sharing these messages is honoring that guidance and moving forward. And I actually got two angel cards. These are from a deck by Rana Vizane, who I love, and she channels Archangel Michael. And these are her little angel cards, little postcards. They're adorable. And I got Lady Faith, who is a beautiful energy and also then companion to Archangel Michael, and Archangel Mary, Mary, Queen of Angels. And if you saw my office, you would see I have Mother Mary all over. She has been walking with me for many years now. I didn't even know it until more recently, say the last 5 or 6 years. But so I'm always happy when Mother Mary calls. And so Lady Mother Mary says, we tell you, dear one, begin where you are at this moment. Begin to live, breathe, and transmit to those close around you the power and love of truth and inspiration. Truth and love begets truth and love until it builds and surrounds you. And when you have created a surplus, you transmit it out into the world around you. Okay, so I am beginning where I am at this moment, which is just recovering from 2 weeks of being sick. of being sequestered indoors and focusing on my body, of thinking about all the plans and seeds that I had and the conversations that I want to share and the service that I want to provide to others as an oracle. So I am beginning right here. And one of the beautiful things is if you listen to my podcast ever, I always say that I hope that you receive all the blessings that you can possibly hold, and that those blessings spill out from your arms to bless the world around you. I'm always doing this, with the hands and the hands outstretched to others. And so I thought this was just such a beautiful thing, because the truth and love that surrounds you will surplus be transmitted out into the world. And so that is what I am doing, is transmitting the purest love that I can from my heart to yours. The other guidance then from Lady Faith says, accept your cloak of responsibility, dear one. This is what you have studied, prayed, meditated, and yearned for. Your efforts have not been in vain. The fulfillment of your life's destiny is close at hand. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. You are ever guided and protected by the angelic realms and the masters of light. All right, I love it. Rejoice. How exciting is that? This is what I trained for, right? I'm in my passionate purpose, which is being an oracle, sharing guidance and messages with you, and of course, having the conversations with spirit first and foremost that I'm having. It's just absolutely delightful and magical in every way. So today, I'm going to go ahead and check in. I pulled 3 decks based on the guidance that I received. We're going to tap in and see what the soul's journey, and the numerology and sacred geometry for the now moment as we are moving into this 2022 or January portal right now. So first, we're going to start with the numerology of the now moment. Now, I will tell you in terms of the syncs of the moment, all right? We've got 444 has been coming in with the angels. We have 333 coming in about the ascended masters being present and balancing our mind, body, soul. 222 co-creative dynamics and partnerships coming out. And of course, this is going to be the theme all year, 222 of 2022. We've got February 2nd and 22nd of the 2022 coming up. So it's a lot of collaboration and co-creative dynamics that are coming forward. So let us see what additional numerology is. As always, number 7 is a persistent calling card for me of the divine feminine presence among us. But I wanted to see what additional numerology and guidance wants to activate for us at this now moment. So in unconditional love, light, and truth, what messages surrounding the current numerological energies wish to be conveyed to us today? All right. We have got, oh, I love it. 11. 11 is synchronicity. 11. This 11, 11. 11 is conscious co-creation, the divine coming in, having that full crown chakra being open, coming down so we can receive the divine guidance and messages that we are, so that we can bring those in. And 11 being about individuality. Our guidance today during Misty's focus session was about focusing on your race, not running in somebody else's lane, not competing with anyone else, just being in your own lane, ever trying to your own best effort, but not necessarily comparing and contrasting yourself with others, because that can lead you into a place of lower vibration and feeling issues of self-worth from the comparison cycle. So we have here an emphasis on individuality. We also have the orange, which is the sacral creation energy, very much the divine feminine. And we have like a darker orange as well. All of these cards have the Merkaba, which is the masculine and feminine energy, the upward triangle, the downward triangle. So we're integrated. And this also says to me, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the soul, so the universe, right? The world. All right, so let us see what the guidance is says here for 11 from this particular book. Now, if you see 11:11, if you wake up at 11:11 or you look at the clock at 11:11, that's a call for you to sit down with your higher self and see what spirit is trying to show you. It's a guide to let you know you're in alignment with where you need to be. You're on the right path overall. So it says here that you need to embrace your individuality and be your true, authentic self. Rather than follow the crowd, you're being guided to break away from the pack and take the road less traveled. Instead of feeling like you're a square peg in a round hole, you're being encouraged to build your own square hole. By drawing this card, you are being called upon to step up to the plate and celebrate your uniqueness. At this time, you must have the courage to speak your truth and march to the beat of your own drum, despite the opinions of those around you. What others think of you isn't your business anyway, and it's impossible to please everybody. So you must focus on pleasing yourself. As you honor your individuality and feelings, you will reclaim your personal power and enhance your connection to Source. When you do so, you can make your dreams come true. In order to improve your current situation, you are being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life, cycles that are encouraging you to embrace your individuality. As you step into your power as your true, authentic self, you will improve your relationships with others and your overall quality of life. Affirmation: I embrace my individuality and become my true, authentic self. Beautiful, beautiful message today. Fits right along lines with what I received already, what this moment of coming here and speaking in my own way, the messages and things that I want to share. Beautiful. And the next message we have here is about synchronicity. Now, synchronicity is one of those beautiful and interesting things. This is 87, my math is bad, it's 15, okay? And 15 reduces to 6, which is like a return on energy, giving and receiving. Synchronicity is the way the spirit lets me know that I am aligned and following the path of my highest timeline and purpose. Synchronicity to me, when you see syncs or synchronicities, it's when I have seen something and then out in the world, I have an eyes to see or the ears to hear something that is exactly resonant with what I just saw somewhere else. So a practical way that can look is that I might have seen a message on or got a message on my post that was, like, say, a frog spirit. And then a few hours later, I'm scrolling through and somebody else will have frogs, animal totems, or post something about the frogs on their back porch. That to me is a synchronicity where spirit's like, yes, we were telling you a message about frogs, go deeper, right? If I wake up and it's 3:33 or it's 4:44, 5:55 or another angel number, that lets me know that I am in the flow and that my day is going as the spirit intends for it to do for my highest and best outcome. So it's interesting because we also have then that purple color crown chakra, the crown chakra that I received this week. This is what I would call a sync, because here's the running theme of purple and the crown and being in alignment with my guidance. So some people feel like it's overly, everything can't be synchronistic, but I don't agree with that, because everything in all of creation is aligned to sacred geometry. When we start with the seed of life and the flower of life and work all the way through the complexity of the mathematics of creation, there is nothing that is truly chaotic. It all is actually in a divine order that can be observed. So the fact that like I may be talking today about synchronicity, and then later today you hear the song Synchronicity by the Police, that is not a coincidence. That is the connectedness of all of our energy and our vibrations resonating in an observable fashion. So for me, it just makes me feel, it makes me feel reassured, because I always have opportunity. It's like my own cheerleading squad from the spiritual realms that's popping in to say, you're where you need to be. Don't doubt, don't trust, be confident, have faith in yourself and the conversation that you're having with spirit, and move forward with confidence. So I don't think there's any such thing as coincidence. There's, if you hear something once or twice from the same thing from a couple other places, or if you hear something, as my bestie always says, if you come and tell me something that I've only talked to God about, then that's a sign for me, you know? So if you have had some things and conversations with your higher self, and then all of a sudden somebody on the elevator is talking about something similar, that's not an accident or a coincidence at all. So let's see here what the guidance says in this particular book. It indicates a need to have faith in the universal order of events, even in the midst of hopelessness and uncertainty. There is no such thing as an accident or coincidence in the universe, and the perfect people and opportunities will appear miraculously when least expected. Even when you can't logically comprehend how your dreams could possibly come true, you must trust in the magical power of synchronicity to deliver what you need. Remember, it isn't your job to know how things will unfold. It is simply your job to believe and know that all is well. The hows, whens, and whos lie in the hands of the divine, but once you surrender the outcome, you are shown the next logical step. In order to improve your current situation, you are being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life, cycles that are encouraging you to trust in the power of synchronicity. By living in consistent alignment with Source through positive thoughts, emotions, and prayer, you will automatically attract miraculous synchronicities into your life. Affirmation: I have faith that synchronicity will lead me where I need to be. All right. Beautiful, beautiful guidance. I do have faith that I am going to be led to all that I need. All right, beautiful. Now we're going to go in and look at the Soul's Journey by James van Praagh. These cards, Soul's Journey. Let's see what additional layer of guidance wants to come through for this now moment, dealing with individuality, synchronicity, the new start of the 2022 cycle. Let's see here. All right, let me get a little sip here. I will tell you, I'm going to be doing a reading about tiger spirit pretty soon because the tiger energy has also been coming in. I'm drinking some Bengal spice tea, and tiger spirit has come through a couple times for me, and I need to dig in deeper to see what spirit wants to communicate through that sync and symbol. Also know that current animals are wolf, owl, deer, fox, and tiger. All right, those seems to be the animal synchronicities that I've seen recently. All right, let's see here. Oh, very interesting. Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. This is a good one for me right now, because if you are like planning your year ahead or looking at all the things, excuse me, my copal is quite heavy, ancestors energies, right? If you are plagued with doubt about if things will work out, if you will get better, if you will, your plan and your project will be successful, release it. There's so much about our planning that we feel anxious if things are not going to plan, but God's plan is a little different than man's plan. And so for me, definitely releasing the need to know all the answers as to when something is going to happen or when something is going to shift or will it be successful. What I just need to do is follow those synchronicities and release the doubt about it. All right. Very, very, very good, because doubt is something that comes in very easily, right? Especially when we are trying to be good stewards of our resources and ideas and projects. We go back over things over and over again in a way to kind of protect ourselves, and that's then where the doubt comes in, and that changes our frequency because then we're no longer as confident as we once were. But if we know that we're bringing in a conscious co-creation that is something that the divine has given us, the synchronicities can help us to release our doubt that we have. And it says it's impossible for the human brain to comprehend the mysteries of the universe. You are only consciously aware of 3 dimensions for a reason, and that is to learn to love without the full awareness of your connection to spirit. Everyone has his or her own personal path to this awareness, and there is no right or wrong answer as long as your goal is to manifest the energy of love and compassion. The wisdom of the divine trickles into the physical dimension, and some of it will resonate with your soul and some will not. These are your signposts that guide you to your correct path. If the wisdom resonates with you and seems right, then keep it. If not, release it back to the universe. Always be aware and mindful of the insights that your spirit guides and teachers put on your path. Okay. Let it go. Don't doubt. Know that everything is not for you, and trust yourself if you are guided away from a situation or circumstance. All right. The other is very interesting because this is like a sunflower in here. Sunflower is actually a symbol for me from my maternal ancestor line. And so seeing that here is like a big hug from them saying, no doubt yourself, daughter, granddaughter, great-granddaughter. And the Sri Yantra, which is the sign, the square, there is another sacred sign of the divine coming into manifestation. So we have the heart green and the yellow of our solar plexus as well in this image. And so the other thing is guilt. Wow, that was interesting for guilt to come up. It's very interesting because it's like a blend of blue, red, orange, blue throat chakra, orange creative power, red our root chakra and crown our guidance, all coming into this kind of vortex point. So a feeling of guiltiness. So I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. So I'm going to sit with this myself and see where the energy of guilt feeling is present within me, because spirit is bringing it to the forefront for a reason. So that's the other thing. Just because you don't recognize something right away, you can always ask for or take the opportunity to go in deeper, and it will be shown to you. And spirit is always compassionate with us as we undertake uncovering and examining ourselves. It is a gentle experience as much as it can be. So let's see what we have here about guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist my soul's growth. The energy of fear has many guises to complicate your path to loving yourself. Guilt is the most devious because it is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay, for the wolf sync. It is a self-imposed emotion that pretends to be instructive and enlightening. Guilt can help us grow when we realize that our actions have been hurtful to others and that we need to make amends. After we do so, though, it's time to learn from the behavior and move on. The problem arises when we hold on to a guilty feeling that serves no purpose other than promoting self-destructiveness and low self-esteem. No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Guilt is not always rational, but if you examine it subjectively, act on it, and release it, it becomes a temporary emotion. Long held guilty feelings are never good and will create a roadblock to self love and happiness. You must continually scan your current emotions for any guilty feelings and bring them to the surface for analysis. Healthy guilt is a warning that action should be taken. Irrational guilt needs to be released. All right, so where are we holding any irrational guilt? Owning something long after the lease has expired. Definitely a very interesting energy. I am going to go ahead and get one more card from this soul's journey to see where we are. Hold on here. All right. Oh, it is related to failure. I understand that a mistake is truly an opportunity to learn. Look at this here. Wow. So, is there some place that we have felt like a failure? Is it a true failing? Did we really not achieve something? Were we really not successful? Is it an honest evaluation of ourselves? That is one of the things that we've been undertaking this week with the focus, as well as honest self-assessment. But along with that honest self-assessment comes honest self-acceptance as well. So where do you feel like you might have made a mistake or failed previously? I definitely could say, as a small business owner, there have been things that, according to certain criteria, have not been successful. And if I'm honest, when I look to how much of that then I own in terms of my hesitance to expand or put myself out there, it can be a very interesting conversation where, I've had to work through that energy in order to continue knowing what I know Spirit has placed in me to do. So I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So we've got this doubt, guilt, and failure here to work through. Where has something that hasn't gone as you thought it should cause you to have doubt? And do you feel guilty for that particular experience that has been classified as a failure to you. Let's see what we have here. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Life on earth is full of experiences. It is our human brain that views outcomes as good or bad. The soul simply views them as chances to grow. Learn to see the big picture of life instead of the minutiae. Failure to accomplish a task is merely the opportunity to evolve, and the negative connotation of the word failure can prevent you from trying again. You must come to the realization that there is no judgment involved with your soul's lessons. Realize that what you view as a failure is just your soul telling you that there is another path. Embrace the maxim, when one door closes, another one opens. It is time for you to stop any negative emotional investment you have in the outcome. Revel in the knowingness that everything will reveal itself when it is meant to. No matter what, be true to your dream and the creative process. All right. All right, for the beautiful guidance with the challenging messages, but beautiful guidance for working through doubt, failure, and guilt. And so for the final layer, we're going to get the sacred geometry activation here so that we can see what energy will help us activate into a frequency where we can resolve those challenging emotions and experiences that are being shown to us right now. I will say we are in Venus retrograde right now. So it might be related to a past relationship that you've had, a past heartfelt investment that you felt like a failure. Venus is about our emotional connections and partnerships. We also have Mercury retrograde coming up on the 14th. So this is going to be another opportunity for us to reevaluate, reassess, review, renew, realign, all those re's that retrogrades give us an opportunity to do. So as we are presented with these situations, we'll want to make sure that we don't dwell on those experiences of guilt, failure, and doubt too much. Do that honest assessment during these coming weeks. All right. So what do we have here from the sacred geometry activation? Okay, this is beautiful. Fertility. Beautiful card. You see how soft it is? The colors just speak to me of just this beautiful, nurturing, feminine energy. It says the frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. Okay, so if we are fertile Myrtle, if you're watching the Sex and the City reboot, there's a character on there, Fertile Myrtle, right? And it's interesting because sorry, this is a spoiler if you are not caught up, one of the ladies is dealing with fertility issues. And so going out with one of their friends that have no problem with children, that they have got several children and they're very involved in how beautiful their kids are, the lady experiences painfulness as a result of feeling like self-conscious because she has not been able to have a baby yet. And so that comparison and contrasting, right, made her feel all those feelings like guilt, failure, doubt if they were going to be able to, have a child, feeling like a failure in the contrast of their friends who were very prolific, and then feeling guilty about maybe not even wanting to go through the fertility treatments to try to have another baby again, and being frightened of what the partner's reaction would be, right? So we don't want to fertilize and continue to propagate a crop of those emotions. So whatever we need to do to shift into a creative, courageous, open, and joyful crop that we plant during this fertile opportunity would be our better choice than to plant a crop of past things that we don't want to experience again, that are the frequency that we want to move upwards from. So let's see here what it says in terms of fertility. This is a 27, which is also a 9. So that speaks to a completion, moving to a completion energy as well, which fertility, the completion of that is the birth of the child, the birth of the baby, the moving forward. So it says, when the long, dark days of winter finally give way to the arrival of a new season, all of existence responds in glorious expression. The voices of songbirds fill the air, a hint of green appears on trees and plants, and people walk with a little more bounce in their step, a smile on their faces. Spring is a time of fertility when all of existence is bursting with the potential of new life, a time of expansion and promise. We see it around us in the outer world, and we feel it inside us in the inner world. It feels like a grand yes is breathed over us and into us from everywhere. Usually, fertility refers to the ability to produce offspring. In the new energy, we are invited to consider fertility as the potential to grow something new and inspiring, an idea, a project, a new paradigm. The blues and greens in the image refer to the fertile grounds on which something new can grow. The clouds remind us of the spiritual aspects of the fertility concept, like the birth of a new consciousness. The squares represent the form-based reality of our earthbound life while we are here. The bright flower shape at the top represents our connection to source. The sphere shape at the bottom, our connection to earth, equally as bright yet different. The beauty of flowers is a reminder of how wonderful life can be when expressed fully. Try this. Take a moment to go inside yourself and contemplate your fertility. What are you ready to give birth to? Are there any great and inspiring ideas that you have been holding inside? What is it that you want to contribute to this world? Make a list of all the things you want to accomplish. Okay, so I love that. This is actually on page 71 in the book, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but behind me it says straight out of 1971. That's the year of my birth. Woo, 50, yay. So definitely, as I spoke earlier in this thing, I'm fertile with all kinds of ideas and things and plans and projects. So now it's just putting the energy forward to grow those crops and to let them come to our reality. So are you a fertile myrtle? What do you have going on? What is your crop envisioning going to be? All right, and then lastly, we have, heart chakra, how beautiful. This is card number 4. The frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. Whatever you do, do it with all your heart. Oh, how beautiful is it that the baby hears the heartbeat of the mother surrounding it when it's in the womb. The love and the nurturing of the universe is surrounding us, and we can hear and feel the heartbeat of the cosmic consciousness. It shows in the synchronicities that we see, in the joyful moments, and the laughter, and that which we hold in our heart that then we transmit out to the world. The heart is the strongest organ in the body, and the field that it generates can be felt, I think, for up to 18 feet. You got to check with the Heart Math Institute people, folks, but I want to say it's 18 feet. So what are you holding in your heart? Holding love for all, and it flowers out into the world. I think that was the first message that it says. Truth and love begets truth and love until it builds and surrounds you. And when you have created a surplus, you transmit it out into the world around you. All right. So we are taking that heart and we are sending that love out into everyone around us. I love that heart chakra activation. All right, and 4 is about our foundations, the structures that we build. Definitely want to have them be heart-centered. A heart-centered new earth consciousness is actually what we are building in this now moment. And we have here the flower of life is a geometric shape recognized by many cultures all over the planet. It consists of 13 equal circles that intersect at the middle of each circle. Okay, and this is on page 7. Remember, I said that 7, the divine feminine consciousness rising to speak to us today. It creates a perfectly proportioned flower. As a symbol, the flower of life represents the universe as a whole, as well as the harmony in which all the separate components of the universe work together. This beautiful pattern is often used to indicate our understanding of our connections as humans and spiritual beings to the whole. The color green is associated with the 4th or heart chakra. It is linked to our capacity to love and to feel compassion. This applies to our ability to love one another as well as our ability to love ourselves. The heart is located at the center of our physical bodies. Likewise, the heart chakra is located at the center of the chest and mediates between the lower physical and the higher or spiritual planes of being. Green is the color of nature and earth, and it is a healing color that balances and harmonizes the connection between mind and body. Its sense is touch. Try this. Take a deep breath and bring your awareness to your heart area. Think about something or someone that makes you feel happy and loved. Take another deep breath and feel the smile on your face. Now start bringing other people or circumstances into that loving, happy place. Can you find space even for those you did not think you had room for in your heart? Can you find space for those you did not think you had room for in your heart? That's the challenge. Can you love the unlovable? Can you love beyond your neighbor, the person who you have commonality with? Can you love the person who seems the furthest opposite from yourself? They are another you. Find the love and the room in your heart. The heart knows no difference. It is all love. It is all the frequency of this construct and this particular creation that we are experiencing. Can you dwell in it? Can you receive it? Can you expand it? And can you share that energy willingly with those around you? All right, that was very, very interesting and very good message for the now moment. Thank you to everyone who's here in the chat. I see Robin down there. I hope you're doing all right. Robin's Realm Readings. We got Gooba's Gourmet. I know Helen from Australia popped in earlier. All of you who are joining me for this now moment and who see it after the live stream is over, just know that that heart connection, your heart called you here, spirit called you here to share this moment with me. And I absolutely embrace and am thankful for the opportunity for us all to support each other as we move through these challenging energies, celebrating our individuality and looking at the synchronicities, looking honestly to see where we have a fear and doubt, a failure in ourselves, and then moving on to create a reality with all of the fertility of our ideas that we can move into a heart-centered new consciousness. So, all right, Robin says miracles and mayhem, they do go hand in hand, don't they? It seems like. So I will be back again. I don't know when, hopefully sooner rather than later. We're going to see how my energy feels after this. And for all those who are dealing with a challenge in their physical vessel right now, we just hold the space for healing for them. May all be healed. May all be free. All right, so beautiful. Thank you for joining me today. We will be back again for another oracle message soon. In the meantime, know that the light in me absolutely honors and loves the light in you. Namaste.